stress. I went into a live just now with a movement teacher. And so we were doing the bolt test. We were doing the 1 minute ventilation test that you might be able to find in my YouTube channel. Otherwise, just let me know. The test, how to make the test, hold the breath, bolt test, and then see whenever you feel like you have to take a breath, you let it go. And this guy had 15 seconds for a bolt. And then we did a ventilation per minute test, which means how many breaths can you take per minute? And not how many breaths can you take per minute. How many breaths do you take per minute in a normal state? And he had 12 to 13, 14, 12 to 14 breaths. Then we did a maximum breathlessness test, which I haven't counted yet, but the maximum breathlessness is inhale, exhale. See how long can you hold your breath? How long can you hold your breath? How long can you hold your breath? How long? And then you let go. And then you see if it's 40 seconds, 30 seconds, or 1 minute. I'll keep the promises being true to myself and continue to deliver knowledge, even though it's, as you know, a challenge for me to not see the person that needs help or advice or reminders. Nevertheless, what I wanted to say is that stress impacts our breathing. In a world where performance is so important, and in a world where we want to perform at our best, and we're so scared of not performing, we're so scared of not being the best, we're so scared of not making progress. In a world of a lot of performative information and pressure and fear of failure, the breath is going to react to the underlying issues that we have. Me, you, him, her, everyone. And one way to prevent having these issues is by making your life an ideology and thinking that through breathwork, the perfect nutrition, makeup, perfect dress code, we gonna skip failure. The funny thing about life is that life is pretty long. And us being scared of failure is going to lead to another type of stress that is going to create cravings, dysfunctions, and discussions, and betrayals, and all of that. So what I want to point out today is that breathing is not only an anchor, but it's a mirror and almost like a smart watch. It shows you what you are actually thinking and feeling. Your breathing is showing you what you're actually going through. Unless you train your breath so good that something else is going to show you how you're actually feeling. Because the breath can accompany the body for a longer period of time to do the best of the best of the best. But now the people that are really good at breath working in the mornings, middays, afternoons, evenings, and then do their training, and then do the performances, and then do their perfect diet. You know what's interesting to do with those people that have everything figured out? To take all of that away from them and ask them to not do breath work for 2 days, for a week, for 2 weeks, to change their diet, maybe eat sugar for a few days. Then they start to freak out. So you can get everyone into panic mode if you want. You can get everyone and anyone into a disbalance. And I think it's important to know what brings you into balance and why you need to do all the breath work that you do, and then check what happens if you take that out of your routine. Even if you are aiming to perform on the highest level, we know, you know, I can see through you. I know that one of the worst things that can happen to a high performative person is if the person is not capable to perform at that level anymore. And life is long, and sometimes things happen, destiny, that may take things away from us. And it's good to train a little bit how we can deal with that on a mental level. So part of performing on high level is also to have the ability to be okay with yourself if you're not performing on the high level. Means if you're not having your diet on peak, if you're not having your breath work on peak, if you're not having your journaling on peak, what happens to you then? And that's when I come in. And where I love to be with people is not just to get them to the top. It's also to take care of what they had to do in order to get to the top and what they had to sacrifice. It's all the layers of us as a human being, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and all the words that might not even be invented for everything that we are made of and what we're capable to do. It's all these different layers that need to be looked at and cared for. And then remembering what it feels like to be yourself at any cost and within all the costs that life has to offer. This is what actually gets you into your zone. Your whole and your own wholeness, which includes all the darkness and all the devils and all the challenges that sometimes we are ready to fight and face, and sometimes we aren't. Perfectionism can be the entrance to hell. And as my friend Daria Albers always says, you're only going to be a perfectionist if you're very much scared of who you truly are. And you're only going to be perfectionist if you think that you are unable to get where you want to be. We have so many misconceptions about laziness and discipline. It's unreal. You know, sometimes the thinking feels wrong because it's not fitting into what is actually true for us as materia, biological materia. So if you're thinking something that makes you feel very anxious, it might not be thought through, or it might be the wrong thought, or it might be the wrong direction. Philosophy, important, because what's the point in doing all the exercises that you do or want to do if you haven't thought about these things either? I would love to talk to you. If you watch this video, send me a message. I would love to have a call with you for 20 minutes and figure out what it is what you actually need and what you want from these videos. See you in the next one.